Hey guys, winter is coming, and as we all get ready to winterize our RVs, Mercedes and I also have a campground to winterize. It's getting cold, 26 degrees tonight. Of course, we're not ready. We're running around. We're getting everything tied down and praying to God that nothing freezes. Are you ready for winter?
Because we sure ain't.
So last week's video, we talked to you guys about RVing in the fall time. There's no better time. The problem with fall is you're right up against winter.
Yeah.
And I hate winter. I used to get seasonal depression for years before we ever started RVing. And once we started full-time RVing, the adventure kind of, I just lost that.
Well, and the whole reason to RV, not for everyone, but for us at least, was to avoid the winter, right? Like you could essentially pick your temperature, although that's not as easy as, one would think. We learned that the hard way. So we wanted to show you some of the beautiful scenery here, but make no mistake, it might be really pretty, but it's really cold.
It's getting cold. It's going to be 26 degrees tonight. We've been running around trying to get tomorrow's video ready, along with winterizing Thunder Canyon before that frost settles in.
So y'all know that we're kind of like last minute people. We're go with the flow. We're really in the moment, right? They say, live in the moment.
I am anyways.
Yeah, you're way in the moment. And in this video, I know you're going to be shocked to hear this, but John and I don't agree on everything. So we're going to openly share the things that we're kind of fighting about, and y'all can totally agree with me in the comments.
Yeah, whatever. You see, we got about 30 people coming in for Thanksgiving into Thunder Canyon.
Yeah.
And to share Thanksgiving with us. And we're kind of not agreeing on where we should have dinner, whether it's in the fellowship hall, as we call it, which seats about 70. Mercedes hates that idea because she doesn't think it's ready. And Mercedes wants to have it in the house.
Well, why don't we do this? We'll show you why I don't think it's ready, because when you see what I see, you're going to be like, John, what are you thinking? Because I'm coming at it from a point like, can't you see this? It's clear as day to me that this is not ready. Whereas he's like,
well, it's not ready today, but it will be ready by the time we do Thanksgiving, which is next week. We got plenty of time to do everything we need to do.
You grossly underestimate the amount of work required.
You grossly underestimate my ability to get things done
Whatever.
quick.
See how it's now personal? Like, it's not personal. It's about, like, realistically, like, not going nuts. So, we'll see. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, though, we have done a winterizing video that's specific to the RV. We'll link to that above. But winterizing the campground is a totally different animal. And winterizing is serious business. I mean, you have to protect your investment, whether it be your home, your RV. In our case, our home is our RV.
Right. And now our campground, right.
So winterizing is serious business. And I also wanted to point out there's a big difference between a deep freeze and a drop down.
Right. So drop down tonight, guys. Low is going to be 26 degrees. It has not been that cold here in Alabama since. We just got back from Mexico. The shock was a lot.
Yeah, that was a big
we're burning through propane like crazy.
Yeah.
We kind of walked into a buzzsaw, right?
Yes.
But we're getting used to it. We're making adjustments.
Yeah.
A deep freeze means that you're going to be below zero or below freezing for long periods of time. That has not happened yet.
Yeah.
Now, just to point out, Thunder Canyon was open as a family campground for many years. It was only open April through October. This was not a winter campground.
Which we didn't realize, because I'm going to get on my high horse here. The South is cold, people. My whole life, I've been lied to. Like, South should be hot. And the South is not hot. And what makes it worse is we're on a mountain.
Yeah.
So we're like cold, and
well, that changes the temperature, right?
Yeah.
We're in Alabama. We're in northern Alabama. We're in the mountains, sand mountains, and
it's cold.
Our elevation's 1,450 feet.
Yeah, it's
and
cold.
So it's colder than normal, but I always assumed that it was warm in the South in the wintertime. It's not, you guys.
It's not. It's a lie.
Yeah, and when we started RVing, we wanted to chase 70-degree weather. And to do that, you're going to be in southern Florida, you're going to be in southern Texas, you're going to be in southern Arizona. You got to get south if you really, truly want to hide.
Like real south.
Right, if you want 70 degrees and up. Here in northern Alabama, that's not going to be the case.
No.
We are going to have a pretty hard winter. We've talked to the neighbors around here who've told us, no, you guys can expect teens here. You can expect a little bit of snow. It won't last.
Yeah.
We'll get lots of brief spells of what they call Indian summer. Yeah. Spring will feel, but it's definitely something we're not used to, and we're not acclimated. Mercedes and I have spent the last couple of years in Florida in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a shock this year.
So all that to say, a deep freeze means freezing below for a long time. When it just dips below and comes back up, it's a different kind of animal. So where it's just dipping, but it's kind of like prepare for what's coming, right? When you get a sign that says this is clearly coming, you got to kind of heed warning. So We're showing you the preparations that we're taking for the campground. We're showing you our marital disputes. And we're showing you some pretty leaves.
So as you can see behind me, these are things we got to be careful of. These are valve boxes, and below are valves that turn water on and off. We have a 2-inch line here, and we have a 1-inch line here. These valve boxes are throughout the campground, and they feed different portions of the campground. Now, this one is about 2.5 feet or 30 inches in the ground. So what I did was I basically just took insulation, put it over the top of all the lines. I ran visqueen over the top of it, which is almost like a vapor barrier. The earth in Ida, Alabama is about 54 degrees. It will, believe it or not, it will stay there about 8 inches and below. We'll stay about 54 degrees throughout the winter. So as long as you insulate the lines or the ground below and you cover it so there's no wind coming in, you'll be okay.
Okay, and so here is where I'm probably going to say fighting words to my husband, although that's not my intention. You see, if you look back to the campground behind us, I think that given the temperatures, we should probably be draining all of the lines. However, it's just a dip. It's not a deep freeze. So we're probably going to have to drain the lines, but we don't have to do it quite yet.
Yeah, we're actually considering closing the campground down after Thanksgiving, you guys. We've got a whole bunch of RV Odd Squad members coming in for Thanksgiving, about 30 people. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'd like to keep the campground open through the winter. Yeah. We've got 14 sites in the lower portion, which is this portion behind us. You can see we have RV Odd Squad members here right now. Yeah. But what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've insulated all of the silcoxes, right, which is the spigots that stick out of the ground. I've insulated them, throwing a bucket over there. Again, the ground temperature here is about 54 degrees.
Surprising.
As long as you keep that insulated, you should be okay. And then anybody that needs to use that water will lift those buckets. They'll connect to it. Hopefully, they'll go ahead and use some type of a heated tape to keep it from freezing. And, you know, if it just dips down below freezing any night, you should be okay. But when you dip down below freezing for more than a couple of nights, that's when you can get in trouble quick. Really quick.
Well, and to clarify, when you say should be okay, he's not saying and don't take any precautions. He's saying you should be okay with relative precautions, right? Like you still have to do the heat tape or whatnot.
Right.
Now, here's the other thing too about this, and I'm totally going to butcher this. Watch his face and see the pain in his face as I try to explain something that I shouldn't be trying to explain.
What?
Okay. So, the frost line is like 6 or 8 inches, right?
6 inches, yeah.
But, the mountain, there's a lot of rock croppings everywhere. So you could have some areas where you have, 12 inches of soil. You could have other areas where you have 4 inches of soil or 1 inch of soil. You don't know, right? So where the water lines are, well, we don't know. We don't have x-ray vision. We can't see through the ground. So there might be some parts that when it does get deep freeze, when it gets really cold, they can be exposed and they can break, and we can't see that, hence why we have to empty the lines.
Well, this is the biggest question, right? This is the wild card we're not sure of.
Did I do good, though?
You did pretty good. We don't know where all the lines are in this campground. And like Mercedes said, this is a mountain, and there's rock right below the surface. The soil is all the way from 0 to 6 feet all over this place. Just depends on which portion you dig into, and you're going to always hit rock. There's going to be places where they could not get the water lines that they put in 30, 40 years ago below the 6 or 8 inches we need for the frost line. We don't know where those are. And there's at least a mile of PVC buried here for the water lines where we don't know exactly how deep those water lines are. And that's what's got us a little nervous. Yeah. So all we can do is protect where it comes out of the ground with the faucet, right? We can put some insulation on there. We can throw a bucket over it. It'll hold the heat short term, not long term. But we don't know where those lines are too close to the top by which they could freeze. And if they freeze, we're going to find them quick. Yeah. Typically, we should find any leaks that break in the pipes that aren't below 6 inches, unless there's like a fissure in the rock, which is a crack in the rocks where it just drains down and not up. But the first thing I'll do tomorrow morning when I wake up is I will go down to the meter and make sure it's not running when nobody else's water is running.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's smart. So if we keep this open during the winter, we'll eventually have to drain the water lines.
Yeah, if we make a decision, because we've got deep freeze coming in for 3, 4, 5 days, in the teens or below 0, then we will immediately be forced to shut off all the valves and drain this whole lower portion of the campground, empty the water out of there because it will freeze here in the south.
Hey, John.
What?
You're wicked smart.
Wicked smart, I know. All right, guys, so we've moved down by the cabins. As you can see over this shoulder here and over Mercedes' shoulder there, we've got 500-gallon propane tanks. Now, we went ahead and we actually just added 2,800 gallons in 7 different tanks of propane now because we know the price is going up. Everything in this country is going up right now, and the cost of fuel is going through the roof. Actually, if we had filled these up about
2 months ago?
2 months ago, we would have saved probably about 40%. So the price is going crazy.
This is an important discussion because
Yeah.
this was the reality check.
This was a tough one because we got back from Mexico and we left 87 degrees from the Yucatan Peninsula. We got back into Thunder Canyon. It was 31 degrees that night. While we were gone, we went through 2 30-gallon tanks of propane and we were only keeping it 60 degrees inside the RV. I mean, we hadn't really quite acclimated yet. And Mercedes likes to keep the temperature at 72 degrees in the RV. And so do I.
I'm Latina, okay? We're hot. Our blood runs hot.
So immediately we started to be quite frank, we were a little depressed the first couple days we got back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we did not start RVing to do this.
It was a kick in the teeth kind of.
Yeah, but we're going to be here. We're going to be here at Thunder Canyon throughout the winter. We still got a lot of... But guys, just a heads up, we have gotten so much work done on this campground. Yeah, this is all done old school, so in the 1950s and 60s. So there wasn't nail guns then.
Ah.
Yeah, so everything was hand done. And they did a good job. Stuff is not as easy to remove as stuff that you remove now from a home that's been remodeled the last 25, 30 years. It's pretty easy to take those apart because they're not built strong.
Get to work, kid. Yeah, get to work. Paint the whole wall.
Seiji, you helping? Yes?
Yes, I'm sitting right there.
Our Thunder Canyon flooring crew, guys, you should see the amazing work we've done. It looks so cool in here. We're into that room. So, man, are we blessed. Yeah. We've got a lot of the products already here.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to get stuck in, what is it
The
called?
product shortages, the supply line issues that
Yeah.
everyone else is dealing
So
with.
most of the products we need, we already have secured on property, so we won't get stuck in that supply line backup that's going all over the country.
But back to the propane, though, if we wait 2 months for the propane, remember what happened in Texas last year?
Yeah.
And the price of propane is only going to go up. So it was like the perfect timing. And then that way, during the winter months, if we decide to remodel some of these cabins, do more stuff there,
Right.
we can keep everything nice, warm, and toasty. If we run into a bind and we need some propane, we have plenty on hand. It's just these times call for, winter
Just
is
thinking
coming,
ahead, yeah.
shortages, just being prepared. And so having the propane, as much as I hated that price tag, the company was really good because they checked all the tanks, they made sure there was no leaks, they checked all the propane heat sources.
Yep.
And
We checked
so-
every single cottage. We got all the heaters working. We got the gas stoves inside the house working. So right now we top the tank cells. We've got a total of 1,500 gallons of propane on site.
Yeah.
We've got backup generators that are dual fuel. They run on both gasoline and they run on propane.
Thank you, Champion.
Thank you, Champion. We're all set for the winter now.
Pecking order is real.
It is.
We put the babies in with the big ones because it's going to get to 26 tonight. And you can tell who's in charge. Come on.
Come on, fight back, guys.
I know.
Looks like the white one's the alpha.
Yeah,
It's all that privilege.
It's all that privilege. John is my hero, and we've had to separate the babies because this guy. Hold on. Oh, I'm trying to show the injury. Yeah, his beak is bleeding. I don't know if you can see it.
I can see it.
Yeah, so we've had to separate the babies because we can't let them get hurt. So we got to winterize the babies now.
All right, now maybe you guys can help us settle the fight that's been going on about where to have Thanksgiving with the RV Odd Squad.
Yeah.
This is the dining room.
We have power. It was like an $800 deposit just to turn on
Just
this
to turn the
meter.
power on, but we brought
nuts.
power in. In the last week, we brought power into the dining room. We brought power into the commercial kitchen. We're going to show you the commercial kitchen really soon. We're super
crazy.
excited.
Yeah.
We've got the heaters working in here, all propane heaters, but they're the old school type, so they work really, really well. We can get this place blazing in here. And this is where I want to have Thanksgiving with the RV Odd Squad. We got about 30 people coming in here.
But, okay, if you look above that door over there, there's like a wet spot. I call it the moldy mold. The walls here are the material, what's it called, where it absorbs everything?
It's OSB.
Okay, so I don't think it's ready to eat in here. And I also think John's underestimating the amount of work that needs to be done, because there's a lot of stuff here, and some of the stuff is old but good stuff.
There's really good stuff here, you guys. We got plates, we've got serving stuff.
Yeah, but then there's other stuff that it's like we can't use it. So really going through it and discerning what's usable, what's not usable, and getting this really clean. And then I think we're gonna have to treat the walls and like kills everything.
So here's what I got, and this is what Mercedes says. We have a week. We got 8 days until Thanksgiving right now, okay? I bought a fogger. I bought the chemicals to get rid of mold and bugs, okay? We've already had an exterminator out here that says everything's fine. I'm gonna fog this building tomorrow with the chemicals, kill everything that's in here. Then we've got the RV Odd Squad starting to show up in force starting tomorrow on Sunday. They start rolling in. We've got about 30 people coming in for this. Those are people that can help us clean this up. We can clean all these tables up. We can clean all the, look at this place.
No,
it's absolutely amazing.
It is amazing.
And we will have plenty of time to break bread in here. I want to put on this back wall right there, I want to put an RV Odd Squad sign right in there. But I love this place, and this is where we got heat.
Yeah.
And now again, we're going to walk you over to the house so that you can, hear Mercedes' argument, because she wants to do it at the house. I just don't think the house is big enough for 30 people. If we do move over to the house, we've got to move a whole bunch of these tables over to that house, and the house isn't finished. It's almost finished, but not quite.
Well, and that's where we're fighting. I think it's easier to finish what's been started than to start a whole other endeavor that hasn't been started. So that's the battle. The house is close, and you take that week and you just finish what's been started, and you're there. Why on earth would we start a whole other project that hasn't even been started? Why don't we work on finishing what's been started?
And I'm going to show you why right now, guys. Check this out. Come here. We're going to walk you into the commercial kitchen here. Okay? Look at this, guys. Look at this. All this works. All this works. We threw the gas on. We've got tons of propane. We've got this gorgeous steak fryer here. Right next to this is a huge griddle. Think about the breakfasts. We've got a deep fryer next to that. And we've got 2 additional stoves and a couple of ovens on this side over here.
Yeah.
This old fan system works fantastic. Now we've got all these RV Odd Squad members coming in. We've got like 4 turkeys. We've got a deep fryer. Everybody's going to be doing their own thing. I want to cook in this, warm it up, clean. It's going to take some time to clean this stuff up, but it will clean up. The place is in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
The health department years ago had a pass inspection. All these walls are wipeable, but we can Lysol this, we can clean this, we can kill any mold that's in here, and that's why I want to have Thanksgiving here.
Yeah, I agree. This kitchen is amazing.
It is.
But is it realistic? This house has been painted. We've run the ozonator in it. We had a leak that we found and it's been fixed. Is it a little tight for 30 people? Yes, but it's so close to being complete. Look at these beautiful floors.
Yeah, these are the new floors we put in,
The
guys.
walls have been
We got
painted,
new
the
paint
ceiling.
everywhere. Everything's been painted. We got this really old school stove right there. That will warm up to 4,800 square foot, and this house is only 1,500 square feet. So it is going to be tight.
What's left though, there's a whole other area over there. We just need to finish the floors.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker in here, you guys, but we still have to finish the floors. The reason we haven't finished the floors in here, we found a bunch of roof leaks. So we jumped up on the metal roof, we cleaned the metal roof, we tightened all the screws, we put silicone over every single hole. We got all the holes, but we had to finish, do the drywall repair all over the place.
Okay, John, never show a woman under the chin, because I only saw it like this. You gotta
All right, babe. Okay, go, finish.
Do the pretty angle,
All
like
right,
that. See,
okay.
That's very flattering. Okay, so yeah, we have to still do the floors and finish the drywall repair. No, that's not a flattering angle. Flattering angles only.
I can't show you the ceilings because Mercedes doesn't like the angle from down here.
I know. Look at the
See it? See
look
the
at
roof?
my chin.
Look
Look at my chin.
See the roof?
Stop. You're gonna give him a seizure. Okay, stop. Okay, so here now you can show him. Get me out of the shot, and then you can show the drywall repair on the ceiling.
So yeah, this is all the drywall repair, and we want to get all that finished and painted before we go ahead and start laying the floor down.
But
This floor is going to be the same as in here. It's just going to run straight through into here. The other piece that's really nice about this that Mercedes likes is she wants to use this kitchen, which has been cleaned up. Yeah,
that would have helped.
this kitchen's been cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, it's old, but I can deal with old. It's just, it's complete. There's only minor drywall repair and paint and flooring, whereas the other area hasn't even been started. So I'm a fan of, how many square feet do you think we have for?
1,200, if that.
Well, you said we
With the
have
2 bedrooms.
1,500.
No, 1,500 total. I'm talking about where we're gonna have to pull tables over here into that room to set up. I don't really want to set up tables in here. One of the bonuses of the house is we've got 2 bathrooms in this house.
Yeah.
We got a master bath with we got 2 toilets, his and hers.
Yeah.
We don't have that over there. We don't have water services inside yet, and we don't want to fire that up.
Water. There
Well,
you go. You
that's
just
a
gave
piece.
me my argument.
Okay.
The water services. So there you go.
Bottom line, you guys need to help us decide.
No, you need to help me.
If you were here,
Put
or
some
if you're
sense.
coming here to Thunder Canyon,
Would you want to be digging a hole to go outside? No.
vote 1, okay? And the fact that you think that I can get that outside ready, heat it up, have it nice and pretty and clean with 30 RV Yacht Squad members helping me and have Thanksgiving out there, maybe even go live that day. Or 2, in the comments,
Reasonable.
to be reasonable and have the event inside here.
Yes.
So if
and
you
have water, running water, people,
Right.
running water.
Well, we can.
Running water.
We're right across the street from
yeah, you
the
can
restaurant and
run
the dining room.
across the street every time you need to.
So we want you to vote in the comments. Tell us what you guys think. We have come a long way in just 3 months with the renovations on
Yeah.
this place, with the construction, with the renovations on the house. The cabins we're starting next week. So let us know what you think in the comments. You know, do you vote 1 for having Thanksgiving out in a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot dining hall that will seat 70?
With no water.
No water, but we got a commercial kitchen out there. We can clean it up. Or do you
Without
vote
water.
to push 30 people into this little house right
No, but
here?
there's 2 areas like this. It's
Okay.
going to be fine.
We're gonna see. So we'll look for your votes. And if you are definitely coming to Thunder Canyon to spend Thanksgiving with us, make sure you vote.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next video.